Hello everyone, welcome to social class. Today I am going to explain you a new chapter from geography of 9th standard. The lesson name is Our State Karnataka. So let me discuss today about the extent, location and importance of Karnataka state. The topic has been chosen from geography and Karnataka, as we all know, it is one of the state in India. India is a republic, secular and sovereign country. It has its own place of pride in the world. India consists of 28 states and 8 union territory at present. Today we will talk about Karnataka and know quite a few interesting aspects about our Karnataka. As we all know, Karnataka is famous for many things. A moment you say Karnataka, you'll remember Mysore silk sarees, sandalwood articles, which have an important place in world market. And you have Channapatna wooden toys, and Hampi, a monumental place, and you have Mysore. Culturally, it is an important center, and even we call Mysore as cultural capital of Karnataka. The famous Dasra is being observed every year in Mysore. And Jog Falls, it is well known falls of our Karnataka, and it is well known for its beauty also. And as well as Coorg. Coorg is a very beautiful place and it is famous for its orange. And many people will visit Coorg mostly in the summer season. And I think you have know about the Yakshagana, and many such traditional arts of Karnataka have become very significant. We have many biospheres, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries in Karnataka. The Sahyadri ranges are known very well for its uniqueness in the field of environmental conservations. Karnataka is a prosperous land in arts, literature and varied forms of culture, and it is also famous for religious, spiritual and historical pilgrim centers. More than everything, we the people of Karnataka speak Kannada, and Kannada is a rich Dravidian language and it has a rich heritage, and we feel proud to tell that we are Kannadigas. And now let me see the lesson in detail. We will come across about the greatness of our state and its heritage, and the origin of the name Karnataka and the form of the state, and the geographical location, size, land and water frontiers and neighboring states of Karnataka. So in the previous class you have studied about physical geography, and in this lesson we will study about our state Karnataka, the land of Kannadigas. It is one of the Indian states which has its own greatness, prestige and heritage. This land has an ideal situation and is blessed with diverse relief features. So our Karnataka is having diverse relief features. The land like flora and fauna, different types of soils, river systems, minerals, human resources, religious, spiritual and historical pilgrim centers, and also heritage site, and its natural beauty and abundance of wildlife. So I am going to explain all this one by one in detail. So first is flora and fauna. What is flora and fauna? Flora and fauna means about the plants and animals. So flora and fauna of Karnataka state the state of Karnataka is in South India, has a rich varied of flora and fauna, and it has a recorded forest area of 38,720 kilometers. means square kilometers. How many is there? So forest of 38,720 square kilometers, which constitutes 1234.677% of total geographical area of the state. And these forests supports 25% of elephant population and 20% of the tiger population of India. So this is about the flora and fauna. Next, let me go for the types of soil. So the common types of soils we found in Karnataka are some of the example: red soil, black soil and lateral soil. And third one is river systems. So broadly classified into two types: the east flowing large rivers like Krishna and Kaveri with their tributaries, and the short west flowing rivers. So these are the two types the rivers have been classified. The rivers in Karnataka are a source of water for drinking and household purposes. So they are integral to agriculture, a source of hydropower, and used for transportation in certain areas. And they are also vital for the tourism industry in the state. East flowing rivers drain towards the Bay of Bengal, and the west flowing rivers flow westwards and meet the Arabian Sea. Next, fourth one is minerals. So mineral resources: rich deposits of asbestos, bauxite, chromite and dolomite, gold, iron ore, limestone and magnesite, manganese, quartz and silica sand are found in Karnataka. So these are the important minerals which are found in Karnataka. Next, let me go for the human resources. Human resources means activities fall under the following 5 core functions. What are the 5 core functions? Means staffing, development, compensation, safety and health, and employee and labor relations. This is known as human resources. Human resources department play a pivotal role in keeping the business running smoothly. Without the human, any of the industries cannot be run. And next is literature. Kannada literature is a corpus of written forms of the Kannada language, a member of the Dravidian family, spoken mainly in the Indian state of Karnataka and written in the Kannada script. The Veerashaiva movement of the 12th century created new literature, and which flourished along a side of the Jain works. The first Kannada work is, all of you know, I think it is Kaviraja Marga, and the first Kannada poet was Adi Kavi Pampa, and the first Kannada script was Halmidi. Next, art and culture. So up to here we have come across flora and fauna, types of soil, river systems, minerals, human resources, religious and human resources up to here. Next, spiritual and historical, famous, and also we will come across the art and culture. So art and culture. Art and culture means here the southern state of Karnataka in India has a distinct art and culture informed by the long history of diverse linguistic and religious ethnicity. Some of the religious and spiritual and historical famous pilgrim centers are at Aihole, Somnathpura, we can say about Murdeshwara, Kukke Subramanya, Udupi, Hampe and Sringeri, Belur, Dharmasthala. Still many are there. So these are only some of the examples. Next, let me go for the heritage site. So the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, shortly we'll call it as UNESCO. So it is known as UNESCO. So World Heritage Sites are important places of culture or natural heritage. As described in the UNESCO World Heritage Convention established in 1972. So it was established in 1972. At present, Karnataka has the Hampi and Pattatkal group of monuments inscribed as World Heritage Site. And besides, the state has 844 state protected monuments, nearly 600 as protected monuments. So totally the UNESCO is protecting 844 state protected monuments, and also 600 protected monuments are there in our Karnataka itself. And about 35,000 temples under the Mujarai department. So in our Karnataka, totally 35,000 temples are there under the Mujarai department. Next, let me go about the natural beauty. So Karnataka, the state of Karnataka, is one of the prominent tourism hubs in India. Feel the cares of Mysore silk or the fragrance of sandalwood, and experience the living ruins of Hampi, or just delight the simple yet sophisticated wooden toys of Channapatna, etc. And these are all having their natural beauty in it. And wildlife. Wildlife, we can say that many types of wild animals are there. Some of the important 5 national parks of Karnataka are Anshi National Park, which spreads over an area of 250 square kilometers. So only this national park is about 250 square kilometers. And same like that, Bandipur National Park is there, and Bannerghatta National Park is there, and Kudremukh National Park, and Nagarhole National Park. So these are about the diverse relief of our Karnataka. Next, let me go about the origin of the name. The name of Karnataka has been used from ancient times. So this land used to be called as Karunadu. Karunadu means Kar plus Nadu. The name it means the land of black soil. So Karunadu. Karunadu means Kar plus Nadu. It means Karunadu. Its meaning is the land of black soil. So the word Karunad refers to Karnataka in the ancient Tamil work Shilapadikaram, another book which is written in Tamil. So the book name is Shilapadikaram. In this also they are explaining or introducing about the Karnataka. They are saying it as Karunad. Here the Karunad meaning is elevated plateau, means the land of little bit higher. So Karunad means the land which is on a elevated plateau. And it has been mentioned in Nrupatunga's grammatical work Kaviraja Marga that Karnataka extended from the Kaveri river up to Godavari river. So another book which is written by Nrupatunga. In his book, the book name is Kaviraja Marga. So this is the book written by Nrupatunga. In this book he is explaining that Karnataka was extended from Kaveri river to Godavari river. And after the independence, India was divided into many states. And in 1947, 9 southern districts which were till then under the rule of Mysore kings were brought together to form the Mysore state. All of us know, already has read this in the history, isn't it? So soon after the independence, still many areas were ruling by the kings. So same like that, how many southern districts? So 9 southern districts were ruled by Mysore kings. They were brought together to form the Mysore state. Later, when the states were reorganized on linguistic basis, linguistic means on the language basis, when the states were divided, areas with Kannada speaking people in Bombay, Hyderabad, Madras and Kodagu provinces were brought together. So, when the states were divided into the linguistic basis, the people who were talking or speaking Kannada, where they were in Bombay, Hyderabad, Madras and Kodagu provinces, all they were brought together, and thus on 1st November 1956. So 1st November 1956. So this is the date and year when our Karnataka was formed. So the Vishala Mysore state came into being. It is in fond commemoration of this event that Rajyotsava is celebrated every year on 1st November. So from then onwards, every 1st November we are celebrating Karnataka Rajyotsava. And in 1973, in response to the wishes of Kannadigas, our state was renamed as Karnataka. So on this date, the name of Karnataka was Vishala Mysuru state. Again, it was renamed as Karnataka in 1973. So, what the name now we are having Karnataka, that was renamed in 1973. So, this is about the name of the or origin of the Karnataka. Next, geographical locations. Karnataka is one of the 28 states of India. All of us know our India is having 28 states at present and 8 union territories. And it is situated in the southern part of India. If you are having textbook, means you can refer the map there. So this is the map given in the textbook. See, this is the India and our Karnataka is situated in the southern part of India. And in the western central area of the peninsula region, it extends from 11 degree 31 minutes north to 18 degree 45 minutes north latitude and 74 degree to 12 minutes east to 78 degree 40 minutes east longitude, and its length is 750 kilometers. So length of Karnataka is 750 kilometers. From where to where? Stretching from Aurad Taluk in Bidar district in northernmost tip of the state of Chamarajanagar district in Chamarajanagar district in the south. So here you can see this is the Karnataka map given in your textbook. So stretching from here Bidar, from here Aurad is there. So from here this last tip to here Chamarajanagar up to here it is 750 kilometers in length. Its width is 400 kilometers. So it is having a width of 400 kilometers from west to east. Karwar in Uttar Kannada district is at the western end, whereas Mulbagal Taluk in Kolar district is in the eastern end. So here you can see in Uttara Kannada, Karwar this end, and here Kolar, here Mulbagal will come, here is this is the last end in the east. So here from here to here it is measuring 400 kilometers width. Kolar district in the eastern end, and Karnataka state has both land and water frontage too. The Arabian Sea is in the west, states of Maharashtra in the north, the Arabian Sea in the west, states of Maharashtra in the north, Andhra Pradesh in the east, Tamil Nadu in the south and southwest, Kerala in the southwest, and the Goa in the northwest form the frontiers. Here you can see this side Arabian Sea, here Maharashtra, here Andhra will come, here Kerala. This side Goa. So these are the boundaries of the Karnataka. The shape of Karnataka resembles the cashew nut. All of you know, I think. See the map of the Karnataka. It is resembling the cashew nut. Cashew nut means in Kannada Godambi. See the shape of the Karnataka. It is resembling the cashew. And let me go about the size. Karnataka stretches over an area of 1,91,791 square kilometers, and it is India's 8th largest state with regard of area, and according to the according to the census of 2011, it has the 9th position with a population of 6 crore 11 lakh and 30,704. And Karnataka occupies 5.83% of India's geographical area. So Karnataka stretches over an area of 1,91,791 square kilometers. Total area it is. And it is 8th largest state with regarding to area, and according to the 2011 census it has 9th position. So it is, according to the population, it is in the 9th. So at present what is the population when the census was there? 6 crore 11 lakh 30,704. So this was the population according to the census of 2011. Karnataka occupies 5.83% of India's geographical area. So totally Karnataka is about 5.83%. At present there are 30 districts in our states. So totally we are having 30 districts. So at present there are 30 districts in our state. These district compares 176 taluks, and these and we are having 747 hoblies, and 374 towns and cities are there, and 27,481 villages are there. So among these, Belagavi is the largest and Bengaluru urban is the smallest. And the capital of our Karnataka is Bengaluru. The state has been divided into 4 divisions for the administrative provinces, which are the Bengaluru, Mysuru, Belagavi and Kalburgi. So these are the 4 divisions which are divided for the administrative convenience. I think you have understood the lesson. Go on study. Thank you.